Hey everybody, today we're going to get started on another high grade. This is a Universal Century. This one in particular is a baddie. So it's the AMS 129 Geara Zulu, which is kind of a spin-off of the Zaku, which I'm a big fan of Zaku, and this one is a pretty cool one. This is, I think, from Unicorn, and if I remember properly, the pilot of this suit is a particular, let's just say, unsavory character. But the suit, nonetheless, is awesome, and we really like the suit. Now, not a big fan of the color. We'll see what it looks like. I haven't opened it yet, so we'll see what the color actually does look like. But he is purple in the show, I do remember, more like this dark sort of color. So I think we're going to do something with this guy, because from what I've seen, none of this white is provided in plastic. It's all a decal. So that's just not going to fly. Not even a decal, a sticker. So yeah, that's not going to fly at all. So we may actually get into some painting. So this is a Bandai kit. It's older, 2010, I believe, is when this came out. And I want to get into it and build it and keep going. I love Gunpla for the summer. If you follow the channel, then you know we've been on a bit of a tear lately. And I don't know what the appeal is with the... I don't know what it is. It reasonably shouldn't make any sense, but I am literally just fascinated with these things, and I'm having a hoot building them. And if you've never built one of these, I would highly suggest trying one. I would start small, start with maybe just an entry grade or something like that, just to sort of get the feel for them. But yeah, anything to do with engineering or anything like that, here, once you put one of these together, you'll roll your eyes and go, wow, that was different. So anyways, without further ado, let's get right into it. So there's a couple pictures on the box. Like I said, I think this kit came out in 2010, so it is older, but Bandai quality is legendary. So let's see. Yeah, this color isn't really working for me, I don't think. So I think we're going to do some paint. Definitely. But we'll see. We'll see once we get it together. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 bags of sprues, and we have our instructions, and I'm sure we're going to see that we have stickers for all of these here, I do believe, if I saw the things correctly. Must be in the bag, are they? Oh yeah, there they are. A lot of bag. Let's just take a look quick and see. Yeah, so see, we've got, these are all stickers. So I think what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to paint these parts white, and then paint them probably, I'm going to say, I guess, probably acrylic, and then use just like a IPA to clean off the black and reveal the white, because all of the white is raised, so it'll be easier just to remove that, and the black will stay. We'll do the black in like a lacquer or something, and that should work, right? I think, right? Hi, hey, huh? I don't know. I'll do some research, but I think that's what we can do there. Okay, here we go. Let's see. Now, generally, I think we start with the heat. Remember? Now, what I like doing actually lately, because it has been hot and there's no paint required or anything really crazy, no glues or anything to wait for, because it's been very hot, and it gets pretty humid here where I am. And I love the Gunpla for that, but it's nice to kind of get used to. It'd be like if you built cars and you got used to building cars. Like for me, I don't build a lot of cars, so when I get into cars, they're that kind of thing. And it's like airplanes for people that don't build airplanes. There's so many stops and starts where you got to paint a whole section, then assemble it, and then move forward, and then seam, and wait for this, and then paint that, and put this section together. So those stages, the way that they are sort of particular to different types of kits, are also particular to Gunpla. And learning those steps, or getting more and more familiar with them, does make the process a lot more enjoyable. I found when I first started, I got a lot of dyslexia with the right and left arms and whatnot and stuff, which it looks like we jump right into here as we start with the torso, the upper chest part right here. And we've got these pipes that move in along. I'll come down so we can get a good look at it quick. Oh, hold on. Let me move us over here and let us get us lined up. There we go. I like to kind of stay centered to where I am. There we go. Okay, so right off the bat, we start with the polycaps and get our chest and that clicked together. And then we come in through here. It looks like we get our arms together. Here we go. And we've got our signature shoulder pad here, the two parts. So I guess if we're going to do any painting, we'll want to fix the seam. Usually there's a pretty unsightly seam that you get up along that shoulder pad. I also thought the Zaku and that would lend itself well to do a NFL themed figure, but I haven't got around to that yet. I have to do one for my son for Christmas. But, anyways, that gets us off the front page, which will get our chest and our arms and our hands together, which are simple hands. And then once we get there, then it looks like we just push through. There's our head assembly going together. And we've got into the legs and the feet. We've got lots of thrusters. Now we've got the other leg. We've got the midriff and the hips going together with our skirt armor, which is much like the Zaku, very similar to the Zaku. Although it's a cool design. I really like the design of it. It's different, but yeah. It's more like the Gundam feet than the Zaku has. It's like a hybrid. And we're into our awesome weapon. And then our sticker location and basically, gimmicks and stuff that we got. So I love these big giant thruster packs on the back there, these big tanks. That's cool. I'm a sucker for the big tanks and stuff. And the Sananju and that have them. So yeah, looking forward to it. So then here is our last little bits with our shield, right? And our weapons mounting on here. So that's pretty cool. Got the big beam cannon here with the mount and our shield. Yeah, cool. Yep, fascinated with Gunpla. All things Gunpla lately. Can't get enough. It's a funny thing. I wasn't really a fan when I was a kid at all. Actually, really, at all. But it's funny, as I kind of got into modeling, I stumbled across a couple of the channels really going all out with these. And I just fell in love with it. So now we're stuck. All right, let's open bag one, shall we? And yes, we shall. Let us proceed. There we go. Okay, first thing we know for sure is that you get your stickers. Foil ones here, and definitely, no matter what, you're going to use the one for the eye, I would imagine. I guess you could paint it too, though. So, I mean, you may not use any of these. I don't think we're going to use any. I think we're going to go with painting. So how we accomplish that yet, we're not sure. I think it's going to be painting like the white in a lacquer and the black over top in an acrylic, some that's easily removed without disturbing the lacquer underneath. But basically you want to paint whatever you want the top, the raised details to be first, and then paint the second color, which I think in this case would obviously be the black over top, and then just remove it from the raised details, and we should be fine. But yeah, there's your stickers. That's flashy. We're not using them. Don't think at all. So here we go with our high grade detail. And we got our first runner here. And our runner A and runner G. So runner A, we got two colors. We got this sort of like camel sort of color, I guess. And we got the soles of the feet. Pretty good detail. Crazy. And then here we've got this wild color here. We've got some nice small details. So you can see, yeah, we're going to have to paint here. There's these raised details here that we're talking about. So, yeah, that'll be a bit of a trick. Here they are here again. So they are raised, albeit not a huge amount. But I think we can get there by just cleaning off very carefully with a Q-tip and be able to leave the black and just take the white off of what's there. But yep, we got some nice panel lines, our shoulder pads, our knees. Pretty crazy color. I don't think I can make it work for me. This wouldn't be the color I would choose, but yeah. Got our magazine, it looks like. Cool. Sprue A, and there's sprue G with the bottom of our feet. We got our hoses, details, and parts for the chest. Next bag. Looks like we got our hands and some more armor bits and our head. The head on this guy is so cool. I like that sort of German style helmet. Very becoming for the baddies, right? But a lot of it is sort of motifed after that German look for sure with Zeon. A little Zig Zeon. I am sort of preferable to the Zeon suit, so Sasabi and Sinanjus and Kshatriyas and the Mono Eyes, and of course my Zakus. Love my Zakus. We got a few of them. So here's E, which gives us our hands. It's in this sort of, it's not black, it's like a brown color. So you can see that it's not actually black. It's like a dark sort of brownish sort of color. Real sort of mocha, I guess you'd call it. So we've got open hand, closed hand, right? We'll have weapon hand and usually an open gesturing hand. So there's sprue E. Got our other internal components. Stick them in our nice little rack. Here's a tricky one to rack. So sprue C, and there's our head. There's that German style helmet that we all know and love. Spot for his command horn. There. Nice. So definitely, I think, you know, with this one we were going to be painting, I think we'll get them put together because obviously that's where this starts. And that's why my whole sort of method with this has been to build as many kits, because you got to build them first to take them apart to paint them or do anything crazy with them really anyways. So the more you get used to building them, then the less arduous that process becomes. And moving on to get into some of the more fun and challenging stuff becomes a little bit more realistic. So there's sprue C. Awesome. Stick you right in there. Yeah, he's a bit of a hard one to stick in there. Oh, he goes in on an angle. Nice. Ah, let's do this little guy. All right. And we have two sprue Ds. So that's our feet. Got arm parts for our armor. Parts for our feet. Right there. So nice. Lots of opportunity to add, obviously, panel lines and stuff if you wanted, for sure. There's more of that Power Panther pink. Beauty. Sprues D. Plural. Get this last bag open. We'll get a quick look at these sprues. And we can start putting this baby together. They're so great because you can just jump in if, you know, because I'm running in and out a lot during this time of year and stuff. So I love these builds because you can just, you know, you can pick them up. You can leave if you got it. You can come back a couple hours later or the next day, whatever. And but even if you sit down and go hard at this, you can put them together in a few hours if you really put your mind to it. But definitely a lot of fun. So there's the last little bits of our armor bits for skirting. So a little bit of interior detail there to work with. But you got lots of opportunity there to expand your detail. And there we go. There's our midriff. Our joint for the center part. Our legs. Sprue B. There's our poly caps, which we usually end up with some extra ones, which should be coming in handy once we get into some scratch building. Yeah, these are kind of cool, these poly caps. And last but not least, our weapon and our tanks. Look at the size of these babies. These are cool. Yeah, again, this is a neat color. I think I'm gonna stay in a purple. I don't know what we've got some. I've got some pretty cool purples. I've got a green stuff. Hold on, just let me reach over here quick, just for fun. I've got this color here, which is a super funky. What's this called? Martian green. Well, there you go. It's Martian green, all right. I must be. I hit my head really hard yesterday, I think. But anyways, I got something like that, which might be kind of cool. Work off of a light and a dark color with the panels. I don't know. We'll see. We'll get it put together first, though. I like this weapon. So we got 2 parts. So there'll be a seam up the mold instead of being slide molded, but that's common. So we'll probably fix that up, and we'll give the weapon some paint. So yeah, I think we're going to get into this one. This one's definitely deserves or is worthy of taking to the next level. Unlike the last couple ones that we did just previous, were the third-party knockoffs. And yeah, I wasn't really gonna go too far with those, but they were a lot of fun to build, and they look great in the shelf. But I do believe this one we are going to take a little bit further. But it all starts with the assembly. So now that I've got my sprues generally organized, my box here, we're ready to go. I can start putting away my boxes now. I can start trimming these down. That's the wand wart that we just finished. And there's our monkey claw that we just finished there. And we just completed our high gog. And we did the gun cannon, which is over yonder box. So we'll get these. I usually fold up these lids and keep them, although these are pretty knocked up. So I'll probably just get rid of these. But I like to keep the box tops. I've always been a big fan of the art, even though this one has the big sticker on it. But just for posterity. Anyways, if you'd like to join me for the build of this kit, then please do. And if it's not in your wheelhouse, well, then, maybe not. Anyways, until then, live, love, laugh. Plan something for the future, because that's probably when you'll see me. And cheers. Ah!